Be frankincense. Got some frankincense here. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. It is the first day of December. Oh my goodness. Did you think we'd make it this far? Well, I wasn't certain, but here we are. I hope the day is treating you kindly. So let us tap right in and see what storyline Spirit would like to share with us this afternoon. Collective energy, please, Spirit. Collective energy, please. What do you like? What would you like the collective to know, please, Spirit? Please and thank you. All right. In the central energy, we've got strength. There may be a strong influence. You may be a strong influence. Whatever you've done to get through something. In the challenge position, we've got the Hierophant. In the in the subconscious, Page of Swords. There may be some kind of negotiations and contractual agreements coming up. In the recent past. Nine of Cups, a wish come true. Emotional stability, intentions and expectations. Five of Pentacles. Somebody's losing stuff. Your wish come true is somebody else's nightmare. In the near future. Five of Swords. Abusive relationships. Some kind of conflict. So they're in a Five of Pentacles. They want to fight. The lens is being looked through. Queen of Pentacles. In the environment, Queen of Wands. Hopes and fears. The Hermit. Eight of Wands. You could be sending your research over the internet, telepathically. Whatever this wisdom, this truth, bringing about a sudden action. What's the outgoing energy, please, Spirit? Outgoing energy. Five of Wands. Conflict. Well, that's all some people know. They thrive on it. And, you know, they want an environment, a worldwide environment that thrives on a Five of Swords and a Five of Wands. That's what some folks desire. We've got the Lovers here. Strength of Two together. They could be calling judgment on the Knight of Wands, on some kind of sexual game regarding the Star, the Temperance Angel. So the Strength of Two together. The power couples are together, and there's some serious circumstances regarding the interference, most likely, of the previous experiences or circumstances. Interference. So you're in your strength, you're very courageous, you may be dealing with something that's requiring strength. There is negotiations and contracts. The Hierophant is here in the challenge position. Bringing strong unions together, perhaps. Strong strength, talent. So you're very strong, very courageous. So there could be whatever your strength is, whatever you're born with, talent is. You may have a strong talent, a strong strength, perhaps throughout all of these challenges and trying circumstances. You've developed some kind of skill or talent that is really strong. Really helpful. Your personality may be very strong. You may be very strong-minded. You have control of your mind. You're able to keep your senses about you when other people are perhaps trying to rile you up. The Hierophant is here in the challenge position. Chew. Deep thinking, remembering, solving the puzzle, code word. Remembering, he's looking into the history. Solving puzzles. These illusions and whatnot. Page of Swords. So we got some contracts, some kind of negotiations. Talent. You've developed a talent. So yeah. So now we've got Page of Swords. There could be some spying. So Page of Swords could be spying on an uninvited guest. This is a moment of decision, perhaps. It's like the Most High is looking at the history of everyone to see what kind of skills they've developed inside of themselves. What have they learned? Where do they need to be in order to be of the greatest benefit to the family, to society? We've got the Nine of Cups here in the recent past. Wish come true. And firm, wide awake, clean. Your mind is clean. Your temple is clean. You're aware. You're on solid foundation. You're very capable of managing yourself in circumstances that are challenging and circumstances that are quiet. So it could just very well be that whatever you're doing, you keep yourself clean. You're not out there defiling yourself. This is a sword in your hand, so you have been to battle and proven yourself very stable in difficult circumstances. So somebody's in a Five of Pentacles. They didn't get the finances. Oh my gosh, isn't that great the way that just turns out? So they're in a Five of Pentacles and the finances is out here in the reverse. So they're not getting the money. You're getting the money because you kept clean. You're not an addict. You're not out there. Your energy is pure. You manage yourself well. You are fighting. And fighting doesn't necessarily mean, it means you're standing firm in your own right. So that means these bullies that were fighting with you in this Five of Swords, they're in a Five of Pentacles because they didn't get the money. They weren't successful in their attack and brutalization of you. It was not profitable. We've got winning at all costs in the near future. Pet, dog, cat, animal friends. These ones could be abusing pets with the Five of Swords. Yeah, winning at all costs. They're doing something with pets. Abusive relationship. We've got the Queen of Pentacles here. What's Queen of Pentacles doing? Snake. Queen of Pentacles, lie, poison, fertility, snake. Queen of Pentacles, so she's offering security. Against a poisonous snake. These are so good, you guys. These licorices. Oh my gosh. I was trying to wait until we were done, but so the Queen of Pentacles is wise. She could be providing security against this snake, this lying snake. She could be managing the fertility of them, making sure that they don't procreate. Queen of Wands, again, very courageous, very fiery. We've got I am sorry and eternal regret. We'll get more clarification. The unspoken apology. She might have got a letter in the mail. Somebody's trying to send a letter. Somebody wants to apologize. She's determined to live her life. Somebody is saying sorry. Eternal regret. Research with the Hermit here. We've got Eight of Wands. Divine timing. Quick decisions, divine timing. Well, it's happening very swiftly. So it's the right time. There's wisdom. It's time for the wisdom to come forth about this fighting. Crown. They were fighting against the crown. They were fighting against a master. Top level. They were fighting against royalty. They wanted you to be buried in the ground, and they wanted to wear your crown. The crown of these lovers. They wanted to fake it. They can't be it. They just wanted to pretend, you know, like children do. So you've got your sixth sense about these third-party enemies and the way that they have tormented people. Get them drunk, torment them, mess them up in the head. The alcohol opens up all the gates, releases the hold over the consciousness, and they come in and have a great time. So, drinks. Somebody may be drinking. Your intuition, you have a sixth sense. There could be a sixth sense among the people now regarding these third-party affairs. Somebody is having anxiety. They might be depressed. They're under torment. They're being tormented. I heard these antagonists talking about madness. They were told that the madness never belonged to her. So the madness never belonged to Divine Feminine. It was an outright attack by these entities calling themselves men, going straight to war with royalty. The daughters of Eden. And the sons too. So now they're being tormented. They're experiencing the madness that they had placed upon the people and their consciousness for centuries while casting illusions and lies about them. They could be drinking. They could be drinking. Cool down. Cool down. They could be drinking. So when you drink alcohol, it typically drops the temperature of the body. There could be a pause regarding, they might be drinking to try to forget about what's happening here. The law. They took a chance. They risked it. They gambled. They took a gamble, and now they're dealing with the law. The judge. They could have taken a gamble with the judge, the actual royal judge who survived their cockamamie with whatchamacallit. So now we've got a shadow. The other side, we've got records from the other side that were worthless regarding your transformation. They got all the wrong information. They got all the wrong information about you. They have no understanding. And your talents that were born or, you know, and it's interesting because, you know, the actual original divine organic human being doesn't, really know themselves either. I speak from my own perspective and experience, because wherever we're at in the moment is simply another click of the wheel, right? Click the gear. Click. You're just clicking right into another gear, and then, you know, in another minute, click, click, the hand is going to go again, and you're going to be somebody completely different. So organic, original human beings, it's like we're changing moment by moment by moment, ever so slightly. And, you know, it's kind of like gaining weight or growing taller. It seems like it takes forever because it's such a, it happens so slowly, you know, mostly. Anyway, wherever that means. You've developed some new talents because of everything that you've been going through here. You're very strong, very courageous, very focused, and still compassionate. You can still feel. Your personality may have expanded or grown throughout all of your experiences and how that affected your character. Whoa, oh my goodness. Living in the moment. Living in the moment. So you could be very spontaneous. Living in the moment. Living in the moment. Myself, years ago, when this all happened, and I found myself fighting for my soul, it's like, you know, people are typically like 30% of their attention is in the past. And then 30% of their intention is kind of looking into the future, you know, worried about this or that, planning for this or that, you know, so like 30% is there. And then in the present moment, you know, people got 40%, but then there's all these things going on in the 40% that don't actually have anything to do with the internal mechanism or what it's connecting to at all. So living in the moment, like for me, when I was fighting for my soul, I had to pull the 30% from the past and the 30% from the future. And I had to have all my attention right here, right now. It's kind of like, you know, a singer who is trying to hold the note steady, you know, sings into the machine and the little needle will go this way or that way. And so you have, living in the moment, developed some kind of talent. You applied 100% of yourself into the moment of whatever your challenge was, and you discovered a talent, a natural talent. Maybe you're a water bender. Maybe you are able to, maybe your natural talent is controlling the frequency of your internal waters. You know, the body is said to be, 70% water. So you could have developed a strength in managing the internal frequency of your waters, living in the moment, like 100% present and commanding the frequency and what that energy would do. The Hierophant is here looking into the past. Looking into the past, solving puzzles, and setting you free. Moving on, letting go, loving you. We've got the Page of Swords here in the subconscious. So negotiations, contracts, somebody might be spying. We've got an uninvited guest here. They could be surprised. There's a big change regarding contracts. There could be some negotiations going on for this uninvited guest. Apparently, there are beings here that were forbidden. It wasn't allowed. Few reads back, I got that this is the end of soul contracts with vampires who've been feeding on others. And so there's big changes. For the dominator tyrant, trying to force themselves on everybody. Side hustle. For the uninvited guest doing a side hustle, Uber Eats, delivering food, getting involved in food, what was delivered to the people. Uber Eats, side hustle. Nine of Cups. Wish come true. You're very stable. You're very firm. Your foundation is solid. Your mind is solid. You're a spiritual person. Maybe you've had an ego death. You're very firm. You're very stable in your connection to the Most High God. The Hierophant here. You're very solid. You're royalty. You've got the crown here. And you've got these tricksters. They could be going in a downward spiral now because you are solid. The Five of Pentacles, they've lost all the money. We've got finances. In the reverse, they've lost all of the finances. You're no longer serving them. You're no longer sharing what the Most High has given you with these particular ones. Rejected. They're being rejected. Because they're in a Five of Swords energy. Because they want to win at all costs. They've got pets here. Dog, cat, animal friends. They could be in abusive relationships with pets. They could think of other, like you and others, as pets. They could be unaliving pets, trying to win at all costs. They could be experiencing a defeat. They might be dealing with the pets that they had unalived in the past. Or these could just be intelligent animals who have been defeated. Take it as it resonates. They're bullying dogs and cats. They're not happy. They're not happy. They might have thought of you as a pet. They wanted to sacrifice you. They thought of you as a pet. Whatever your zodiac sign, they thought of you as an animal to be sacrificed to whoever it is, whatever system or entity they're loyal to. They're not happy. Queen of Pentacles is here. She could be offering security regarding the snake, their fertility, their lies. Maternal instinct is wise. And we've got shady in the reverse. So there's no more shade. We're not dealing with any more. There's no more shady business going on. They're not allowed. So we got shady. These mask wear. It's in the reverse. Snake, lie, shady. You're no longer dealing with shady people. They don't have any shade to hide in. The Queen of Wands is here. Confident. We've got somebody sorry. We've got fed up. Somebody's in eternal regret because she's fed up. Somebody wants to apologize. She's fed up. Enough is enough. The Hermit is here with research. Very quickly, we've got divine timing. Wait. Funeral. I was told that this winter there was going to be a significant decrease or something. Five of Wands. So they were in competition with the crown. So you got folks out there pretending to be royal and they're just not. They've been fighting with the true royal. the ones they denied, the ones that they have been sacrificing in ceremony for a long time, and they get them when they're young before they actually come into their fullness of who they are. And it's been ridiculous. It's been absolutely ridiculous. So they're fighting for the crown. You are the master, your top level owner. So you're like the head honcho. Love, illumination, love. So somebody is fighting with you. They were fighting with the crown for the master. We've got illumination. You've discovered the truth about this reckless sex, how they were using words of love and contracts of love. You've shined a light on this recklessness, love. They were using words of love, but they were participating in reckless sex. You've discovered the truth. You had an awakening here. You are the crown. You wear the crown. It could be that you came in the past. It was like learn as much as you can about it, as much as you can. It's like they deceitfully convicted you, charged you, convicted you, and you had to go be a private investigator and do your own research by experiencing the truth of what they are. So these ones are fighting. They're fighting over in the territory over this crown with reckless sex. This crown, see their magistrate, who is in a rainbow covenant with the Most High God right now, wishes to elevate people into an ethical, moral, and more noble way of life, to get away from this reckless sex that tears apart families, that destroys the foundation for the children, and destabilizes life on the planet, you know, and it completely screws up generations of family trees. So they were fighting with the crown. They're in competition for the crown. They were using reckless sex disguised as love, and you have illuminated the truth of it. Round and round cycles, triggers, lessons. Somebody's all in their feelings about heartbreak, feeling like shit. Somebody's feeling like a jackass because the twin flames are here together and they wanted everything to be their way. They wanted a freaking love child. They didn't want the queen bee. But now they're saying, I miss you, I love you. But that's only because they're in the middle of a freaking firestorm. They want to come up and pop the question, but you're ghosting them. They've been detached and they have no money. So that's the only reason that they would come forward with a offer. So you're very, very strong. You've got a very, very strong talent. Your features, whatever your soul features are, your personality, you are living in the moment. You're 100% here and you're able to just manage whatever is coming at you like that, because you're not deplete. Like you're not just operating at a 40%, because you're not 30% in the past, 30% in the future. You're like right here, right now. And it could very well be that, look, right here, right now on Earth. Living in the moment, right here, right now on Earth. Let's see, what's this Earth card say? Earth. Staying connected to where we come from can offer feelings of safety and comfort when we wander. Keeping home close to the heart insulates us from hostile energies, especially when we are subject to being cast in a harsh light. Remember where you came from. So you're living in the moment. You're on the earth. It is what it is right now. You're right in it 100%. Hierophant is here, remembering, looking into the past, loving you, and setting you free. Setting you free. Whoa, nature is in the reverse. Setting you free. Nature. Setting you free. So they're coming. So the birds are coming to attack, but it's in the reverse. So it's like these intelligent animals or whatever, they're no longer going to be attacking you. This vampire of the earth will no longer be attacking you. You're free. Page of Swords, negotiations and contracts. The uninvited guest is surprised. There's a big change in their side hustle. We've got pet cemetery and grief, their side hustle. So their side hustle, you know, I mean, it could be all kinds of things, but the pet cemetery is that movie like where they did some kind of magic and brought their dead pet back to life or whatever. So there's a big shift in the contract for these pet cemetery people and their side hustle, what they eat, what they deliver to be eaten, their side hustle. Uber Eats. The uninvited guest, side hustle, Uber Eats, pet cemetery, the living dead are in grief. Contracts are being rewritten. They're not going to be able to feed on humanity like they once were. They're upset. There's a whole new system in place by beings far greater than we. Nine of Pentacles. You're stable, you're firm, your mind is clear, your energy is pure, you're spiritual, you've undergone an ego death, you have gone through an initiation. Trickster. Because of your purity, because of your awareness, because of your protection with the sword there, and your stability. It could be that the trickster is undergoing an ego death. You know, they thought you were nothing. Dime a dozen. You know, slap you down, you're going to fall down, cry forever, and eternal sorrowful mother or whatever. So you're getting your reward, a life of luxury, because you are stable and firm. And now there's an ego death and a downward spiral for this trickster. They're in a Five of Pentacles energy. The finances oracle card is in the reverse. We've got rejected in the upright. So this trickster is being rejected. Curse. They're being rejected because they cursed you with this mirror magic. They're being rejected because they are cursed. They cursed themselves. Five of Swords is here. Upheaval. They're in upheaval. This pet, dog, cat, animal friends are not happy. So they could have some intelligent animal, you know, geniuses that are not happy. This group of bullies curse themselves. Look, they're hungry. They're not happy. They're hungry. They have to deal with others that are hungry. God said that they were the new fodder. I didn't know what that meant, you know, at first. A couple years ago, I wasn't sure what exactly that meant, you know, but it's amazing what comes together, you know, after many stories have been told or picked up on. Queen of Pentacles. So she's supportive. She could be offering security, maternal instinct. She's very wise. When it comes to this snake and their lie, we're not dealing with no shady snake. They can't hide in the shadows. The lies are seen. The lies are seen. Yeah. Experience and book. The lies are seen. So there's no shade. There's no shade. What you have experienced here, whatever these people called up in their nighttime, you know, children's story time or whatever, this phantom that said, let me in, the vampire or whatever. Yeah, so there's nowhere to hide. There's no shade. There's no shade. The snake is here lying. There's no more shade. You're very aware of the experiences. You're sharing your experiences with this thing, this vampiric thing that came up out of this book that somebody called forward. Queen of Pentacles is dealing with that. Queen of Pentacles. Well, she's in the upright. She could be a parent of a snake. Or she's offering security from. Take it as it resonates. Because she's about nurture, comfort, and stability. But we got snake and shady in the reverse. Like there's no more shady experiences from these phantom things. It's like we got flight. They may have to like leave. Maybe they're going to get lifted out of here. There's going to be a funeral, a divine timing. Divine timing. This winter, there's going to be a big adjustments. Trap. So Queen of Wands is here. Somebody is in eternal regret because you are fed up with their desire and effort to trap you. You're sick of it. You're fed up with it. They were warned not to come into that house. Trap. Let's look at that. I mean, I told you not to go into that house. You're fed up with these people going into your house. You're fed up with these people going to your house. You told them not to go into that house. You warned them, and now they're in eternal regret because you just got fed up. It's like, look, I told you to stop coming into my house. And they did it anyway, and so now they're trapped. You did your research here. Something's happening very swiftly. We've got divine timing and a funeral. So there's funerals coming up. Folks, there's funerals. Folks are going back to the other side in the dreams. People may be dreaming about the other side. Funerals. Dreams. The other side. Boogeyman in the dream state. There's funerals. They're dreaming of the other side. They could be having paranoia. It could very well be too that this is the end of their opportunity to tap into the dream state on the other side. Like they are no longer able to come into the 4D or the 5D or wherever your spirit is when you're sleeping in your bed getting ready to go to work the next day. So it could just very well be that this is the end of these ones tapping into your dreams and messing with your spirit self as you're getting rest to go back to work the next day. So we got the Five of Wands. They're fighting for the crown. They're fighting for the crown. You may not have known how valuable you are. Maybe you still don't. Maybe you never thought of yourself like that. Maybe it is what it is, and it just is what it is. It's like your goals and your ideas of self and all of that aren't the same as others, you know, who are cursing you left and right. People that are strong and they have these skills and they're living in the moment, what they're thinking about is like, where am I? What am I feeling? What can I do to add value to my soul? And then they go out, but they're not going out to hurt somebody to do it. They're wondering, what kind of talents do they have? What should they try next? What do they think they might be good at? Living in the moment on earth. Doing what you're naturally talented with. Your soul song, your personality, and all of that. Your strong suit. So we've got the Five of Wands. They were fighting with the Crown, the Master, top level. They wanted the gatekeeper position of the planet. They wanted the magistrate position of the planet, the top gun when it comes to the law for the planet. And they wanted control of all of the energy, the life force on the planet, because they're vampiric and they were feeding on it. But God said this is the end of their relationship with batteries. He's tired of them feeding on his family. You are royalty. The crown is right here. And these ones have been out there trying to compete with you and create conflict with you by saying words of love, but then making it about reckless sex. You've gained illumination regarding this truth. You've discovered the truth of it. You down here, you've got irrefutable evidence from firsthand personal experiences regarding these children of the night. You have illuminated what these children of the night were doing. They were feeding on people. They were feeding on them. They were vampiring their energy and cursing them with this magic. These animated corpses. Their side hustle. The devil. The devil. Somebody's turned their phone off the ringer. Or their ringer off the phone. They're no longer taking calls from the devil. The devil's trying to call. Somebody's calling the devil. Well, this call card says turn your ringer off because that's not a good party. So the devil might be making calls trying to get folks to come to this party. But the book says with this call card to turn the ringer off. Don't go to the party. Because we've got this water thing, could be the Leviathan, and then we've got the woods there. They want to fabricate a storyline or a lifetime story. They want to film it. They want to do what they do. And then this water thing, you know, may want to wear your face. They want to appear like you. They could be thinking about a sacrifice. Don't go to the party. Because we've got dance. Yeah, they want to invite you to the dance because they want your identity. They want your identity. This family, whatever this family is, it's like God is like burning them up. I don't know. They're on fire. I mean, he's standing there looking at them, and they're standing before him on fire. So that can't be good. I've heard some of the Unseens saying they need food. I don't know where they're at. In some other timeline. And, sorry guys, I really love that licorice. So I had a couple days where my head kind of felt like there was a cotton ball in there or something, and it kind of kept going. So it was kind of like quantum leaping through timelines or whatever. It might feel like that when you go through a timeline adjustment. And after a couple days, I noted that it got a lot quieter with these ones who have been so antagonistic, which is a nice thing. I'm very grateful that for the most part, you know, I don't have to see a lot, so that's nice. So you're very strong. You have a talent here. Yeah, it's a natural born talent. You're living in the moment on Earth. And then we got these vampires on Earth. They were doing the least to gain the very most. So they were coming in, and then they were tapping into the mental body. See? They're tapping into the mental body of the feminine, the divine feminine. And then trying to claim that intellectual property as their own. So they were siphoning out your divine purpose and then completely screwing it up, trying to mimic you. The Hierophant is here looking at the past, chewing it over, solving puzzles, you letting you go. You are moving on, loving you. There's loving you for you solved the puzzle. Like the Hierophant may be here. It could be that whatever talent you've discovered, you've solved the puzzle. You learned the code word. There's loving you. It could be that you've set the people free. You are true royalty. Nature in the reverse. Nature in the reverse. You no longer are bound to nature. They can't come after you. The intelligent animals cannot come after you. You're not bound to it. Oh, we got cult leader in the reverse. It's not your nature. It's not your nature to be a part of a cult. Like maybe you've never joined a cult. It's not in your nature. You didn't want to go mess around with the lives or the energies or the life path of anybody else. You didn't join any cult. So you get to go on. You get to move on. Loving you. The history here is, it could be that you have solved the puzzle, gained the code word, and which has let you free, set you free, and now you're no longer bound to the nature of a cult leader or a cult. There's no more cults. Take it as it resonates. Page of Swords, contracts and negotiations for uninvited guests. This is a big surprise. A big change is happening regarding the side hustle, the Uber Eats, the side hustle of food for the pet cemetery or those living dead. They're in grief. Shadow demons. They're in grief. They can no longer feed on you. They're really upset. You're royalty. You lived up. You were very, very strong. You stayed very, very calm. You're a starseed. You're an actual starseed. And these intelligent animals who have been trying to, swap places with you genetically with their scientific experiments and whatnot, they're upset because you're getting your 9 of Cups, your dream come true. You're very firm. You're very wide awake. You know what's going on here. And your mind is clean. Your temple is clean. Your energy is clean. You know what to do. You're spiritual. It could be that there's chaos and an ego death happening for a trickster. We got empath. Because what? A trickster empath? A trickster empath? They were tricking empaths. What were they doing? Wandering around in the spiritual arena or various places and spaces within a spiritual community. And full of empaths. They were being a trickster. Maybe there's just a spiritual like guru within the community that is a trickster. You see now, they're in a 5 of Pentacles. They didn't get any money. They've been getting rejected. So there's no money. They cursed themselves. They're not a legend. They're not seen as a legend. They were out there cursing people while you were like adding value to your own soul, you know, breathing into the pain and the discomfort, expanding out until you reached outside of all that icky black energy and then started working on it, you know, alchemizing. You developed your talents, your skills. You became more while they were trying to curse you to be less. They were never trying to become more. They were only trying to make you less so that they could harvest out your stuff. But it didn't work out that way. They're not seen as a legend. It could be that they are now cursed. They've been rejected. They're not who they portrayed themselves to be. It was a trickster. So we've got 5 of Swords here. Abusive relationships with pets, dogs, cats, animal friends. They're not happy. They're hungry. They're feral. They didn't work for anything. They didn't develop any skills. They're just out there looking real mean and real mad. And they're like, you little bitch, you give me what I want. And you're like, girl, you know what? I'm going to go do my thing. Queen of Pentacles is here. So, what is that? You're going to have to use your own discretion here. In my mind, because she's in the upright, and she provides security, stability, organization. She's very wise, reliable. So to me, it's like she is offering some kind of security in regard this snake and their lies. It's like there's no more shady business. She's doing away with the experiences that we're having with these vampiric entities that these people, these reckless people keep calling up out of their magic books or whatever. This is a narcissist. A narcissist. That you've had experiences with this narcissist. You're a unicorn. They kept coming after the unicorn. So they were calling this narcissist. Oh, the unicorn's getting the land back. The Rainbow Covenant. The Rainbow Covenant. It's a real thing. And, you know, the sons and the family of the Most High is definitely got that Rainbow Covenant and that Rainbow Chakra there. Queen of Wands is very determined to live her life. She's like, you know what? I'm going to live my life. And she's very courageous. She's very focused. She's learning her talents, what her skills, adding value to her soul, becoming more, expanding, growing. Despite the curses, the hexes, this relentless feeding, this harvesting that they were doing. Queen of, yeah, she's out here. She's just going to live her life. And we got somebody, there's an unspoken apology. Somebody wants to apologize and she's fed up. She's fed up. There's a trap. They were told not to come into our house. Stay in your own lane. Fed up. It's a trap. People are in eternal regret now. because you are fed up with them coming into your house and harvesting off of you and trying to trap you and trapping others, for sure, within these false contracts, within this other dimensional space, the dream space. They were coming in there. These from the other side were coming into the dream space of people as they slept in their beds, and they were traumatizing them, stealing them, gaining false contracts from them. And then here in the 3D, they were never, ever, ever showing up, even though they were like, hey, you're my best friend. It's like, who are you, man? Freaking Peeping Tom. Freaking wacko. So you got the Hermit card here. You're doing your research, and very, very quickly, there is swift action. We've got the divine timing. It's the right timing. We've got funeral, and we've got dreams from the other side. So this is the end of the other side being able to tap into your dreams. That's it. Shadow demons. So this is the end of the shadow demon being able to tap into your dreams and then do this sacrifice and all that nasty stuff that was happening. I know that I myself in dream space, you know, I was always taking knives to the chest, and I'd be sitting here watching a freaking movie on my television, and I would feel these guys actually cut me. And I mean, I'd literally have to go, you know, put compresses and stuff on me because it hurt that bad. It was terrible what these people were doing. And they just thought that they could just do whatever because, you know, nobody could see them. So they've got 5 of Wands, and they decided to create conflict with the crown, with the royal family. They were using reckless love, reckless sex with proper words of love, and you have shined a light on the truth of this discovery, you know. And I think that, you know, in a time gone by, it could be that you actually presented that perspective to people, that they were just going to be prostituting everybody, and it could be that they glamored folks and you got 86'd out of there. But now you're back shining a light on the truth regarding what these children of the night have been doing in the dream state regarding this shadow demon on the other side and feeding on the people in this way. Tinfoil hat. The children of the night and their conspiracy theories. This is tinfoil hat. It is are you sure that you have all of the right information, or are you just believing something that somebody said because, you know, you like that person or whatever? Tinfoil hat. Don't believe everything you think. And that's the thing. These guys were driving like statements, you know. These verbiages that people tend to use is self-loathing talk, you know, regarding weight or face or, you know, looks or popularity or nobody loves me, you know, negative self-talk. And they kept driving that through the people to affect their sense of value, self-worth. Tinfoil hat conspiracies. They were making people believe things about themselves that were absolutely not true, because anything that sounds other than I like myself is a lie from this shadow demon. Or you just, because, you know, typically we're not living a life where we hate ourselves unless somebody has made us or given us rote. Sometimes if we hear something over and over and over and over and over again, it builds a little highway in our synapses in our mind, and then that thought, it keeps going for road trips over that little highway. And so it's our job to go in there and tear that highway out and say, you know what, that thought doesn't get to live here anymore. It cannot drive through my freaking property anymore. And so you have to you're always having to do freaking construction in the mind. So it's like children of the night, tinfoil hat, conspiracy theories. The situation at hand, does it reflect reality? Do you have all the facts available to you? Yes, you have illuminated the truth and discovered what was going on here regarding reckless sex being done by these children of the night using proper words of love. You have discovered the truth about it. You're an influencing oracle. Crown. Master. You're a master. You're a very strong person. So you, the oracle is talking about the influence of love bombing and gaslighting. These, you're just telling the truth about it, and you're an oracle. So you've done your research regarding the story of this children of the night and their harvesting and their hunger, their feeding on people, on star seeds, and the fact that they had pulled up the dead and gave them a new body, and then gathered a side hustle in order to feed them. And so now there's big changes here in those contracts. I heard the other day a masculine say that he wasn't feeding them anymore and that they're on their own. You're telling this troll, this fashion witch, to go F off. And this privileged person is triggered by your ability to take care of yourself throughout this trauma bond. They think you're a bitch because you're taking the land back. You've got the land back. God gave it to you. Now this simp, they're being warned by a vampire about a vampire. Simp doing the most, there's a simp. So the simp who does the most for somebody who carries the least is receiving a warning. We got a vampire making an announcement regarding snacking on those with billionaire status. Those, they called it Earth Woman. So there is a Lifetime story out there, at least one of them, and it's called Earth Woman. Now, these entities had been feeding on the womb, the power of the womb, and the consciousness of the daughters of Eden for centuries, and they've been broadcasting it out there throughout the galaxy, this snacking. As you've got a billionaire status, everybody knows who you are, and they're jealous of you. You're a unicorn, and now you have this rainbow covenant renewed with the Most High God, and this devil going down to Texas. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and leave this one here. I do hope that it has clarified something that you already intuitively knew. And I'll see you on the next one, everybody. Bye.